I'd like to take you behind the veil on some specific things that were discussed.
I don't believe in carbon-14 at all.
You don't?
No.
Why not?
Carbon-14 never given accurate dating.
So let's talk about carbon dating. Is there another reason that Zahi Hawass doesn't use this fairly normal scientific tool in his work? Is it as reliable as many other scientists claim? I've always thought carbon dating should be trusted, but within a certain range, or so I should say a margin of error. Let's explore if that's the correct approach. So what is carbon dating? Carbon dating, or radiocarbon dating, is a method developed by Willard Libby in the late 1940s that revolutionized archaeology. And here's how it works in simple terms. So all living organisms absorb carbon from their environment during their lifetime. This includes carbon-14, a radioactive isotope that decays at a known rate. When an organism dies, it stops absorbing carbon and the carbon-14 begins to decay. So by measuring how much carbon-14 remains in an organic sample, scientists can determine how long ago the organism died. So this technique earned Libby the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1960 and has since become a standard practice in most archaeology, except Egypt. So why is it that Egypt doesn't trust carbon dating? Well, the majority of archaeologists consider carbon dating to be relatively reliable for several reasons. It has a scientific foundation, i.e. it's based on well-established principles of physics and chemistry. Results can be calibrated to account for historical variations in atmospheric carbon-14. There's been cross-verification of this technique, so results can be verified using other dating methods like dendrochronology, so that's string redating, or thermoluminescence. And of course, it's been around for a while, so it has been refined, so the accuracy and precision of carbon dating has steadily improved with technological advances. So let's think about it. Why would Egypt be skeptical about using this tool? Because despite its widespread use, it does face a couple of criticisms. But the main ones being it's got a limited range, and that range is up to 50,000 years old reliably. But, that seems like a fairly wide range for Egypt. It doesn't really limit them much. And the other concern is contamination. So even the small amounts of organic material from a more modern or from an earlier era can significantly skew results. But nevertheless, it seems to be a key part of the archaeologist's toolkit, except in Egypt. Not trusting it completely is one thing, but intentionally not using it is another thing completely. Surely carbon dating should be trusted, but within certain parameters. The skepticism usually is healthy when it drives a better methodology, but rejecting it outright would mean abandoning one of archaeology's most valuable tools. My opinion, the best approach is to trust carbon dating, but understand its margins of error and its limitations. It's not perfect, but when used properly, it still remains one of the best windows that we have into the past. So now let's address something else, something interesting about Egypt's historical reluctance towards carbon dating. So some viewers might wonder, are they hiding something? Well, let's explore this option. So Egypt has one of the most detailed historical chronologies in the ancient world, and it's been developed over centuries of scholarship. And early carbon dating results sometimes contradicted it. Naughty, naughty carbon dating. Obviously, when this happened, it did create some academic tension. The scholars that even dare to raise the subject of dating, a different dating, I should say, might not be appreciated by the academic institutions, and they might even have a few problems, like David Rohl in his discussions of the dating of Moses and general Bible datings. It looks like his theories are pretty much shunned. Another thing is that there's the issue of cultural and heritage politics. Ancient Egypt's timeline is foundational to national identity and tourism. Any significant revisions could have, I don't know, maybe an economic implication. I'm not quite sure why they might think that, because more exciting news of certain things being older, I think that would be a positive thing. But hey. The next thing is that there may be issues in sample purity, since Egypt's been civilized for a very long time, and most places do have layers of civilization as one era builds up upon another. Thus, naturally, it tends to corrupt a sample unless the sample is taken perfectly within the layer of one time period. So that probably requires a bit more expertise, I don't know. And maybe they think that suitable organic samples aren't readily available, because quite a lot of artifacts are stone or gold and can't be carbon dated. So maybe they just think, oh, well, we don't have that much organic material. But I really do struggle to believe that is a real excuse. And obviously, I think their main excuse is a methodology preference. So they date things based on pottery, topology, inscription analysis, and even in some cases astronomical alignments. And that's the techniques that they work with, and that's what they're used to. And although these reasons almost seem reasonable, there's kind of a bit of a mystery that, well, carbon dating is available, so why not use it? Is this a conspiracy? Or is it something to do with the complex interaction between their techniques and their unique culture for archaeology? I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, because rejecting carbon dating outright essentially means abandoning one of archaeology's most valuable tools, as I said before. And I think that I really do have to mention that there are other reasons. And personally, I think it's to protect the established timeline. I think they don't want carbon dating to come out that might contradict their narrative. And so if they don't do it, the information can't get leaked. So imagine they go down to the labyrinth of Hawira and find something that dates back to, say, 22,000 years ago. What then? What do? Rewrite all their books? Just think about it.